The slap came before the kiss, a crack that sliced through laughter, through music, through vows still hanging unfinished in the air. The room froze. Forks hovered. Wine trembled in glasses. Somewhere a violin cut off mid-note. Her hand still lingered in the air, red, trembling, as if even she couldn't believe what she'd done. I didn't move. I didn't flinch. I only blinked once, slow, deliberate. My cheek burned, but my mind was already cold. I looked at her, the woman in white, the woman who, seconds ago, called me her husband. Her pupils were wide with panic, confusion, something else. Guilt, maybe. Her mother stood behind her, one hand on her shoulder, lips still moist from a whisper. That whisper had changed everything. The guests murmured. Someone gasped. Cameras clicked. I didn't speak, didn't demand an explanation. Instead, I adjusted my tie, lifted my head slightly, and smiled. A small, unnerving smile that made her step back. I could see it in her eyes already. She thought I'd break. She thought humiliation would undo me. But the thing about a man who has already seen the truth is that he can't be broken twice. It started 3 nights before the wedding. Her phone buzzed while she was asleep. I saw the name flash on the screen, E. No heart emoji, no nickname, just a letter. Too careful, too clean. I didn't open it, not yet. I watched, waited. The next morning she said she had errands, dress fittings, makeup trials, small things that take hours. I nodded, kissed her forehead, and told her to take her time. That evening I checked her car's GPS logs, old habit from my consulting days. She hadn't gone near the salon. She'd been at a hotel on 9th Street. 2 hours, same location, twice that week. I didn't confront her. I just sat on the couch that night, watching her hum while packing wedding decor, acting like everything was normal. Every gesture became suspect, every word a rehearsal. When she said, "I love you," I watched her mouth move, but the words felt like lines read from someone else's script. Her mother had been strange too lately, over-involved, protective, dismissive when I asked simple questions. "Don't stress him before the wedding," she told my fiancé once. Stress me? For what? That night I couldn't sleep. Not because I was heartbroken, but because I could already feel the edges of a lie pressing against the surface, begging to be seen. The next morning, I called a friend in cybersecurity. Quietly, efficiently. He cloned her phone in 20 minutes. By the next day, I had messages, hundreds. "We can't keep this up. After the wedding, everything will change. Your mother's right. He doesn't deserve you." Her mother, always there, always whispering. The man's name? Ethan, her ex, the one she said was toxic, the one she said she'd blocked years ago. The more I read, the calmer I became. Calm is dangerous. It means the emotional part of you has surrendered to calculation. I printed everything, every message, every picture, every hotel receipt. Then I called the venue coordinator and made one minor adjustment. The slideshow that was meant to show our childhood pictures, I replaced it with something else. A compilation. Her words, his words, the timestamps, the locations, the truth. The file sat in a small flash drive, hidden inside my inner jacket pocket on the wedding day. When she walked down the aisle, all in white, veil trembling slightly under the chandelier's glow, I almost admired her. Almost. Her eyes met mine, soft, rehearsed, perfect for the cameras. But she didn't know that I already knew. I said my vows, calm, steady, deliberate, every word soaked with knowledge she hadn't yet realized I carried. Then came her turn. She hesitated, just a fraction too long. Her mother coughed from the front row, subtle but enough. She continued, voice shaking slightly. When it was time for the slideshow, the hall dimmed. The first image appeared, her childhood photo. The crowd awed. The second image, her text, "We'll be careful until after the wedding. He'll never know." Gasps, murmurs. Her head snapped toward the screen, eyes wide. Ethan's message followed. "Tell your mom I'll book the same hotel again before the big day." Her mother rose from her chair, pale, trembling. The hall erupted. And there I stood, hands behind my back, face calm, like I was simply another guest watching a performance. She turned to me, voice cracking. How could you?" I leaned close, whispered, "By not underestimating the quiet ones." That's when her mother leaned in, whispering something to her, something desperate, something ugly, and my bride's face twisted in panic and rage. Then came the slap. It echoed across the hall, slicing through the noise. The guests froze again. She shouted, "He's lying! He hacked me! It's not true!" But no one believed her. Not with those messages on the screen, not with her mother trembling in the front row, not with her groom standing still, unbroken. I lifted my head, took the microphone from the stand, and spoke. Not loud, just clear. "I loved you," I said. "Enough to protect you from yourself. But you mistook silence for blindness." I turned to the crowd. "Ladies and gentlemen, this wedding is over." Then I walked off the stage, calm, measured, leaving her in that white dress, surrounded by whispers, cameras, and her mother's shaking hands. Behind me, I heard the chaos unravel. Guests demanding refunds, journalists pulling out phones. The band stopped playing, and in that noise, her sob broke through, raw, real, and far too late. Outside, the air was cold, sharp, honest. I could still feel the faint warmth of her slap on my cheek, but it almost felt poetic, a mark of ending. The chauffeur asked quietly, "Sir, where to?" "Anywhere but here," I said. As the car pulled away, I saw her through the glass doors, on her knees, dress stained, face buried in her palms. And her mother, the whisperer, trying to gather the pieces of a story she could no longer control. I watched them grow smaller in the mirror until they disappeared. No anger, no pity, just the faint hum of justice done. Because betrayal doesn't end with confrontation. It ends when you no longer care who sees them fall. And as the city blurred past, I touched my cheek and smiled. The last thing she ever gave me was proof I was right all along.